Morning people, my name's Hannah and I'm the C5 nut. Well, it is an awful, crappy day today. And me and Ducatilina, actually that's not Ducatilina, that's me van. Diamond, see there's just too many D's around, you know. So me and Diamond have come down to Eastbourne. It's taken me about 3 hours to get here. Yeah. Journey was interesting, and we come to see this. Right, well, unfortunately this car, I'll flip the camera around. So this particular car is a Mark II, what's normally known as a facelift because it's got a different front. This one is a 2-litre exclusive, 2-litre HDI exclusive with a bit of an issue. It's an automatic and the gearbox completely, well, excuse my language, but completely shit itself. It's stuck in 5th gear. We can't physically move it. It is permanently, no matter what we do to the gearbox, we just can't get it out of can't get it out of gear. Yeah, unfortunately the gearbox rebuild is about 2 to 3 grand on its own. That doesn't include fitting, so by the time you add the fitting and all that, you're looking at about 4 grand. Now my mate who owns this car, he also owns a very nice Mark II Citroen C5. Is also an exclusive, and I think it's got black leather no, it's got the nice cream seats in it. This one's actually the 3-litre V6. So yeah. So why am I down here? Well, obviously we're not gonna rebuild this one. She's also got a few other issues. She's got a broken window, which is just here. God knows what happened to this, but it's all over there. She's missing a panel. That's different. Nice leather seats and wheels. So when my mate told me that he's scrapping it, I had to come down and strip some bits out. Now he wants the whole complete dashboard because it's got the sat nav in it. He wants to use that for something else, which is fine. We are going to take the wheels off for Diamond and the leather seats. Oh, and also the mechanisms for the rear doors. So Diamond at the moment, she's got the old wind-up windows on the rear there. So we are putting leather seats in this thing. We're going to also change the door cards, but I'm going to do that at a later date. We're also going to change the wheels on her as well from this car. So brought Jessie along, haven't we, darling? Yeah. Right, it's really cold, it's murky, it's kind of spitting. So it's going to be fun trying to work on this. But anyway, what can I say? Let's crack on. Well, morning guys. It's another day. Yesterday was a bit manic trying to take all the seats out and stuff like that. I had a bit of a list of other things that people needed from that car as well. So I was a bit pushed for time. Yeah, what can I say? As the lights were like getting really dark and things like that, I couldn't help myself but to fit those alloy wheels. I mean, yeah, it looks really good. Right, so leather seats. So we're going to be installing some leather seats today in Diamond. I did try to fit the passenger side, but I came across a few issues. Now, there's issues and there's pain in the butt issues, and this turned out to be a pain in the butt. Right, so Yeah, airbag wiring loom wasn't quite the same because it was a facelift, and Citroen tend to swap their plugs over from Mark 1 to the facelift, which was a bit bizarre. So yeah, airbag wiring loom, and because it's an LX, there was another crucial bit of wiring loom which made me and my friend chuckle a little bit, because we're just like, why would they only fit half the wiring loom and not just complete it? But I will explain that shortly. But those seats weigh an absolute ton, and my arm is killing me. Absolutely is killing me. But God, look at her now. Yeah, she looks completely different. Absolute loving these wheels. So these are the facelift, or what's normally known as the Mark II exclusive alloy wheels. Yeah, she looks sweet as a nut. They're the old wheels. I've actually sold these, so these are going to their new owner whenever he can come and pick them up. That's the old seat. That's the new one. Both the rears have been done as well, but like I said, I had an issue with it. If we go around, right. Now I've taken the glove box out. Let's just zoom out. Right, I've taken the glove box out. So the fuse box we want is this one at the top here. This one there. Now there should be a plug coming out of this one going to the engine bay, and there isn't. There's just nothing there at all. So if you get the old power probe, you can actually just touch just inside that terminal there. Let's see if I can get a close look. Just in that one there. So you put power to that, which then makes all of these work. So power to there, that little pin. So if I can get a closer look there, and it runs across that way. Right, so that it's bonkers on how that the car has all the wiring for the seats and everything, comes all the way up here, but then don't connect this to the engine bay. And when I was doing that test rig, it does have a proper cable for it, so I will be fitting that cable into here, so it would have original. These bulkheads are really thick, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to try and get the cable through, but I'm going to try my best. So yeah, I think the thing to do first is let's get this cable sorted out before we start playing with the seats. You need to power the seats up in order to get to these bolts. So you need to plug the seats in, operate the switches for these, and at the moment nothing is working. So yeah, it's because there's no power there. Right, so I'm going to hold the video a minute. I'm going to quickly get that cable and ram it through, and I'll bring you back. Right guys, so this is the cable. You've got that plug on that end and that one on the other. Now this one actually goes to this fuse box there. That one goes underneath the engine bay. Now I had to extend it only because I couldn't get into the original place to run the cable. It's a bit of a nightmare. So what I've done is, I'll see if I can zoom in. There's a hole just, you see the daylight just there? Yeah, I've put a hole just there, which then brings me out to the other side. So by extending the cable, I can get away with just feeding it through there and all that. That will get us out of trouble. Now this cable, believe it or not, is 6mm thick, so make sure you get some, if you do extend it like I have, make sure you get some thick 6mm thick cable. Make sure it's flexible enough rather than old household stuff. and all I've done is put some there's heat shrink on the connections, and I've also put it in some nice conduit so it just protects the wire a little bit better. Right, I'm going to quickly feed this and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so the cable is now here. You need to take off this black cover which sits on here, lift that up. Then this is the ECM. Now there's a couple of clips you've got to take off. I think there's one here, one there, and one at the back. Pop that off, lift it up. You can do that with the wires connected, and then you see these mega fuses. Now as you can see, the one we want to go into is this one here. So if you pop it upside down, you see where the cable needs to go. So what we need to do is pop that cable into that hole under there. So guys, I'm just doing a bit of editing, and I noticed that in the video you see some wires sort of look like they're being cut. Don't worry, it is normal for a C5 to have a few wires that are like that. They're not actually doing anything, it's just in an event of a electrical issue, instead of trying to feed the wires back through the firewall, Citroen actually put what they call repair wires. So the wires you see in the video that have been cut, honestly, it's like that out of the factory. It's just I can't pronounce the word again, but you get the gist of it. They're not actually connected to anything, it's just a dead end through the bulkhead. So it's just a temporary repair wire. Okay guys, so this is that cable, and I've now put it into that hole. Now when you do push it in, you need to push it in until it goes click, or if I can get a better photo, or even when the metal is just inside of this little plastic bit. So you should see now there's a terminal there. There is a terminal on that side, which is fine. Now it says in the manual it should have an 80 amp fuse. Because it's only working the seats and possibly the rear electric windows, I'm going to down rate it to possibly a 50 or a 60. Yeah, I got a 60 amp fuse. These are called mega fuses, they're quite nice and big. So now I'm just going to fit that into there until it goes all the way. We might have a bit of a, that's in. So just want to make sure that there is no metal work showing at the back. So now that is in. Now if we go round to the other side, so don't know if you guys can see, but this is that cable I've fitted. Zoom it in a little bit. There's that cable, and it comes through there. Right, now when it gets to here, that's the same, that cable. That should just plug in until it goes click again. So that's how it's meant to be. So now we should have power on these things here. Right, so will it work? Yes, it does. So now the seat's fully working, and all I've done was just fit that cable. Now you can pull it out, so just for your benefit, let's try and pull that. Let me use my other hand. Right, so I've now pulled that plug out. Seat's not working. I've plugged that back in until it goes click. There you go, click, and the wire won't come out, and now I should be able to go. Sod's law, innit? Sod's law. Oh my days. Will it work? Right. Now if you're in this stage where it doesn't work, switch the ignition on. because after a while they do play up. So let's put the ignition on. So the ignition's now on. Let me just switch the stereo off. Right, so now it'll actually work. Yeah. Now, you're probably wondering why it works before and then I unplugged it to then plug it back in. Now the BSI does have a time limit, so when you open up the door it will run the system for about 2 to 3 minutes and then switch off. Now to overcome that, obviously switch the ignition on, which then puts the system live again, which means you can then operate the seats. Right guys, so that's fault number 1. Now fault number 2 is the wiring for the airbags. So what I need to do is loosen off this seat. So I've got to take all the bolts out on this seat so it's all loose, disconnect the battery, and then disconnect the seat, and then I'll get it in the workshop and I'll show you the issues we're having.
Right, quiet everybody, because H is doing a video, so keep quiet now, no talking.
Mate, do me a favour, please be quiet when I'm doing a video.
So I just let everybody know you're doing a video.
Yeah, thanks mate.
You crack on, yeah?
Yeah, you
Don't
just...
Don't let us interfere with it.
Mate, customers are waiting for this van, you need to get it fixed, eh?
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks mate.
Still interrupt.
Oh, fuck's sake. Right mate, right. As you guys can see, I've removed the seat out of the car. Now, the wiring I was telling you about would be this one here. So, this yellow plug here is the airbag one. Now, the one on the seats, let me find it. Now, the one on the seats is this green plug here, and you can tell it's definitely not the right one. It's also got an extra plug. Now, this particular seat had vibration motors in there. It's one of them, so if you cross over the line it sort of vibrates the seat. Now obviously that's not being fitted to this car, it was only on the Mark IIs that it were fitted, so I'm going to take this wiring loom out. I won't get rid of these motors. I mean, I'm sure there'll be another C5 out there that wants this lane depart, whatever it is. So all I've got to do is take the airbag wiring out of that to then stick in here. Now what you want to do is undo the straps that hold this back panel, lift that up. Now just inside here where the airbags are, there's two 10mm nuts. Now you've got to take the two 10mm nuts out and then the airbag will pop off. Once the airbag's popped off, unplug it and then pull the cable through this way. I've got to do that on both seats. Now I don't want to destroy the back of this one because it is a nightmare to try and get this to go back into that slot. So I want to be as delicate as I can. I'm going to try and get my hand in there and get to the bolts. But that seat's been scrapped, so I'll demolish that one and I'll bring you guys back. So I've literally just pulled this out. You literally just give it a tug. It's got this lock-in mechanism that goes into this bit of plastic there. There's one bolt and there's another bolt. You take them two nuts out, the airbag will come out, and like I said, you just pull the wiring out. Yes. Alright guys, so airbag's now off, and you will see that there's a earth wire which connects to the metal. Let me zoom in. Earth wire that's connected to metal, and then you've got two wires that goes to this green plug. Now what you need to do is take off the safety clip, so you get the flat-headed screwdriver. I'll tell you what, let's just remove that cable out of the way so you guys can see better. Right, so what I want to do is stick the screwdriver in there and pop that little bit off. Now I'm trying to do this one-handed. There you go. So that's now popped off. And then all you want to do is you then pop the green thing off the airbag. So I tend to just bung that in there and just lever it off a little bit. There you go. And that's now, the cable has come off the airbag. Right, so now what you want to do is try and pull this through. Again, I'm trying to do this one-handed. There you go. That's now pulled through. Now you see this little wire attached to here. Now that's just a sensor for the buckle, the seatbelt buckle. Now you should be able to just push that, and that will then unplug and unattach it from this webbing. Let me just zoom out, it'd be better. Right, there we go, zoomed out. So just got to remove this from this plastic thing, and then we've just got to do the same on that seat. So undo the airbag, pull the cable out, replace it with this one, and well, basically fit the seat back in the car again. Right guys, so I've taken the old airbag off, I put it back in. As you can see, it's all been rebuilt. It's now got the old wire and loom originally out the car back on here. It's all put back to where it needs to be, and as you see, that one there is now the airbag. That one there obviously operates the seat, and that one there is the multi-changer. Right, now let's get it back in the car. I will say, I have disconnected the battery because obviously it is an airbag, and even though we need power for these seats, when you put the seats back in, connect the seats up and then reconnect the battery, give it about 5 minutes or so, and then you should be able to move the seat backwards and forwards to bolt it in properly. Okay guys, so I've now taken the seat from the workshop into the car. It's now here, it's now fully working. Oh, this gets me all the time, doesn't it? Before the video it works, during the video it don't, so I'm going to have to activate it. Right, now it should work. And it does, lovely. Right, now I've already bolted her in, but like I said, with the other one, the other seat's got to come out so I can do that wiring loom for the airbag. Like I said guys, if you're going to take these out and it's still plugged into the car, make sure you can switch the ignition on to get these seats moving while you take the bolts out, because they are a nightmare to operate with no power on them. So right, enough chit chat. I'll get the other seat out, I'll quickly repair it and get it back in, and then yeah. Also, the steering wheel's looking a bit tired. I don't know what the camera's like. It's like really faded. It's alright though. I've got a nice leather one to go on instead. So next time I disconnect the battery to remove that seat, I'm just going to quickly change the steering wheel as well and get that done. Right, I'll crack on. I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so my car's a bit messy, needs hoovering out. So obviously we've got both leather seats installed. We even got the rear seats done as well. Surprising on how many clothes I've got in the back of this car. Yeah, so the story is I've got the rear wheels in the back, which are hopefully going tomorrow, if not the following day. So that will free up some space in the back, and then I can sort my junk out. But the seats do need cleaning. I still haven't done these door cards. That's going to be done another day because obviously I've still got to sort out these winders. But I did change the front. Looking nice as always. You notice he's also got the 4 buttons now instead of just the 2 on the front. Obviously the Diamond's going to have electric windows in the back, so I'm sort of preparing for that. I fitted the nice leather steering wheel. Again, she needs cleaning. Yeah, it's just a matter of tidying these leather seats up. They need feeding. Yeah, you might laugh at that. Leather seats do need feeding. It's just like any human other, you know, it used to be an animal, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to go too technical. That trim, you notice that the hand rail and also the speaker is 2 different colours. I've left the trims down at my mate's place, but I'm going back there on Friday to grab the bits, along with other bits and pieces. But this is where I'm at. It's getting pretty dark. I want to quickly wash it today, but I just wanted to end the video about here really. So this car was a wreck when I first bought it. I mean, an absolute wreck. It was destined for the scrapyard. Now look at it. I mean, come on. This is the only LX, right? Now, quote me if I'm wrong, but this is the only LX with electric seats, heated seats, alloy wheels. Also, she's got, what else has she's got? The leather steering wheel. Basically all the toys. We are going to be sorting out the rear windows. Again, if you guys have come across an LX, a generic LX with electric windows, let me know. But look how beautiful she is. You know, okay, apart from the traction control, but she does have a CD multi-changer in there. And yes, I know she's got a dent in the back. We are trying to source another tailgate for her, but you know, a car that was destined for the scrapyard, and now look at it. Okay, another dent. Maybe this side isn't the way forward, and I need to get new plates for her as well. I'm going to do that in a second. But guys, look, just what can I say? Yeah, love and care can bring anything back from the dead, especially like this car. Right guys, I'm going to leave it here because I'm bloody cold and also tired and hurting and all the other bits and pieces. Yeah, so fitting electric seats to an LX can be done, and you just got to worry about that wire that goes in through the bulkhead, but still doable. What can I say? I've got another video coming up fairly soon about how to remove a dashboard on a C5, which I'll be doing on Friday, so you might see it Saturday, if not possibly Sunday. Yeah, quite a few people are asking on how to remove the dashboard. So anyway guys, if you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and just may I might make another video. Take care guys, see you soon.